that? I always have a hard time finding where the thing is. Let's see here. Well, I'm going to guess. I think it's a 737. It's my old ICOM rig. Yeah, there it is. It's right in the front. If it was a rattlesnake, I'd be in big trouble. But I see 737, and it's driving a amplifier. This is my secondary shack. I don't normally operate out here. Well, it's been a while, but I'm here now. I have a lot of boat anchors out here, and the amplifier is a Sun Air 1900 Alpha. Has a single 4CX 1500 ceramic tube, and it's an auto. It's auto tune. It's you just push the tune button and it goes zip zip and runs the servos, and it's all loaded up. Now I'm just loafing it right now at about a kilowatt. It certainly does more. But I think a kilowatt's more than enough. KW6G, WA6JKN.
NY6L Hesperia.
NY6L, Jade Hesperia, KW6G, about a 5.9 here. And Kevin, you're peaking 20 over S9 with that rig. Very fine business signal. NY6L, KW6G. Take a turn, please.
All right, good evening. NY6L, Jay here in Hesperia. And Kevin, I got your email. Thank you. The very, very interesting test there, Kevin. Over.
Yeah, it's very revealing. So there's no guessing. It takes the guesswork out. You can see exactly how nice your audio response is. It's pretty darn good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really great. By the way, I'm only running approximately, let me look here, I'm running about 43 or so watts approximately, reaching the Elder 103. So mining barefoot, if you need to run more horsepower, let me know.
You'll need more horsepower in San Diego, that's for sure. M6WHK.
Yeah, hello, Phil. Running this really rare Alda 103 here, circa 1978.
You're sounding good down here. I don't know what Kevin's going to tell you, but doggone, you're loud, clear, and distinct. That's what counts.
Well, thank you very much, Phil. Very good. Go ahead, Kevin. And I'll be listening here. Didn't mean to bust up the fuse over there. NY6L Hesperia.
And I'm running an ICOM 737 driving a GSL 1900 Alpha, which has a 4CX 1500 in the final. It's a fully automatic amplifier. You just hit the tune button. Once it warms up, it takes about 3 minutes to warm up that ceramic tube. Once you do that, you hit the tune button, it goes zip, zip for the L's and C's, and you're ready to go.
Well, that's pretty neat. Auto-tune amplifier there using a ceramic tube.
Yeah, the only thing you have to remember, the only thing you have to do is turn the band switch. And what that does is it pre-positions the L's and the C's so it doesn't have to run through the full throw of the L and C servo. So it does it quick. That's it's like a second. Boom, it's tuned up.
All right, well, you sound really good there, Kevin, as always. So, all right, well, I'll be standing by here and looking at the peak reading watt meter. Yeah, about 43 ish or so watts out of this classic old Alda 103 tri-bander. NY6L, be standing by.
WJ6W.
KW6W is KW6G, 5 and 9. Dave, go ahead.
Yeah, okay, Charles, thanks. Just listening here tonight, and thought I'd get on with the Drake rig. Haven't had it turned on in a while. Running the C line. not that far apart. Glad it's getting up north as well. Back to you, Charles, KW6G, WJ6W, Dave in Tarzana.
WJ6W, KW6G 5992, David. Everybody's pretty good this evening with the low noise for a change, so hopefully it stays that way. Earlier this week we had a corona mass injection on the sun, and that kind of messed everything up big time, especially on 40 meters. So. Anyone else want to check into the Drake West Coast net this evening? This is KW6G before we get started.
WB6MWL.
Good evening, Jay. You're 5 and 9 plus. Go ahead, take one.
Okay, very good. Yeah, everybody's good copy here. And Jay, your Alda sounds very good down here. I didn't look at the S meter, but we're running the TR7, driving the L7 in low power position, putting out a little over 700 watts here. Probably don't need that much, but the band sounds pretty good. But boy, you're right, that CME really screwed things up. So I guess things are recovering out here. I know 20 was a little better today, but it still had a lot of fading up and down. Back to you, Charles.
Yeah, real fine, Jay. WB6MWL, the group KW6G. Yeah, we had a 40 meter CW net, I think it was Tuesday, about 7:30. And the net control was 5.9. When it started, he was in LA, and about 5 minutes into the net, he disappeared into the noise. Usually isn't that way this time of year, that time of day, but that's what happened. It didn't get any better, so we didn't have a net Tuesday night, but had a roll call anyway. Anyways, anyone else want to check in here to the Drake West Coast net? This is KW6G. Come down, please. We're not hearing anybody else. Why don't we get started and see what develops here? As long as the band is in good shape. Let's see. Who do I have checked in so far? I have Kevin, WA6JKN, leading off the list this evening, and then followed by Jay at NY6L in Hesperia, and then Phil N6WHK in La Mesa, and Dave, WJ6W in Tarzana, and then Jay, WB6MWL in Montclair. And everyone is 5.9 or 5.9 plus, but I get Kevin a little extra start, 20 over S9, so good signals all the way around. So why don't we get started going out order? Start off with Kevin, Jay, NY6L, and then over to Phil, and then Phil over to Dave, and Tarzana, and then Dave over to Jay, then WB6MWL in Montclair. And then Jay, why don't you hand it back to me unless we have someone else you can put in at the end of the list by the time we get there, and then we'll take care of them at that time. So go ahead, Kevin, WA6JKN and the group KW6G, Drake West Coast net.
Okay, Charles, very good. Good signals. Well, I wrote down all the signal reports, but they're changing. They're going up. So the first go around is what I wrote down, and then I'll update it next time around. So we got KW16 is a little over 10 over S9. We have J a little over 10 over S9. Or I should say 10 dB over S9. Yeah, that's right. And Phil, usually I hear Phil 20 over, but tonight you're just barely over 10 over dB. And Dave, you're way down. You're below 10 dB. And MWL, you're 20 dB over S9. So that's the reports so far. I'll give you the rundown of the equipment I'm running. I'm in the secondary shack. I haven't been out here in months. Just a long time. This is where I have all the boat anchors and stuff like that. I was out here today cleaning and the equipment. All the old voices were calling out to me. It says, you neglected me. So, you taking off? Okay, drive safe. Okay, so that was the X-Whale has let me know she's taking off. All right, so anyway, I decided to take all the covers off and fire come up and right from the get-go, I couldn't hear any signal. So I said, what is going on here? Did I borrow a piece of coax from the antenna distribution line? Nope. It's all hooked up. So I got my antenna analyzer out, and it quickly told me that I had a problem with the coax between the primary antenna distribution system, which is located on the other side of the property here, and coming here into the workshop, go through the bulkhead, got a nice little environmental thing going, and so anyway, I got my multimeter out to see was it the shield or was it the center conductor? What's going on? Did somebody climb up on the roof and cut my coax or what? Because it was open. So anyway, are you ready for this? I found the problem. It took me a while, about 30 minutes. Of course, I had to go back and forth, you know, putting terminators on and all this kind of stuff. And the problem was when I made this coax back, I forget how long ago, wasn't that long ago, I did. I made a mistake. A big boo-boo. I forgot to solder the center conductor. Yep, that's what it was. I guess I was in such a hurry, or whatever the excuse I could come up with. I forgot to center the center conductor on the PL259. I couldn't believe it. No, I could believe it. I guess that happens. So I went ahead, got some flux, put it on the tip, heated it up, let the flux travel down the center conductor in the PL259, and I added some eutectic solder to the thing, and it sucked it right in, and bingo, I now have continuity. So I put it on the air, and I decided to also use the GFL 1900 amp. So I ran it up to about 2 kilowatts and just started slamming it with CW and stuff. And well, I brought it up slow, but I wanted to get up here and see if there was anything going to break down, and no, it worked just fine. So I backed it off, and that's what I'm using right now. All right, that's the story. The ICOM 737 driving a GSL 1900 Alpha, which is a fully automatic amplifier running, well, let's see, probably about a kilowatt or so into the inverted V through the recently repaired antenna distribution system. All right. That was a long one. I apologize for that. Jay, take it away, sir. NY6L. And the great West Coast group, WA6JKN.
K2LM2.
And hello to Paul. Good evening to you. All right. Very interesting story there. My goodness, center conductor not soldered. Ouch. Well, okay. Well, as some of you know, or most of you know, I acquired this kind of rare Alda 103 vintage sideband get together this past weekend, and did a few little modifications to it. Had to add a capacitor to dampen the S meter on sideband, and mechanically set the dial set in the RIT. And last thing I did is check the bias for the finals, phosphate finals. It was down to didn't have much, it had about 24 or so milliamps, so bumped it up to 85 where it's supposed to be, and left it, and that's pretty much it. Put the covers back on, cleaned it up, and sprayed a few switches, and here we are. So I'm doing a mighty 44.5 watts on peak. So hopefully this station's getting out. So, boy, with too much further ado, over to Phil at 6WHC, NY6L in Hesperia.
NY6L
Excuse me, my son just called from Utah, so I'm going to see what is up with him. He normally don't call this time of night. I'll be back when I can. N6WHK.
Very good. We'll pick you up when you get back. Go ahead, WJ6W, JW60.
Okay, KW6T in the Drake and WJ6W here. Well, we're copying everyone pretty well. Charles, you're about 5 to 10 over, and Kevin about 20 over, and Jay 10 over. I guess with the, I thought you said you were running 40 watts, but since I know you're running 44 and a half, that explains your 10 over. Right. And Phil was about 20 over before he jumped out. But we're running around, let's see, let's bring it up a little. Running around 500 watts with the T4XC R4C and a 30L1 amplifier on the end of it there. So haven't had this setup on for a while, as I mentioned, but it just came up and worked fine. So I think we're in good shape there. Kevin, the GSL 1900, I looked that up. A real military rig there, but very cleverly done, where it presets the band, the position of the LNC in the band area, and then quickly tunes. So pretty neat. Almost as fast as the modern ones, I guess you'd say. Let's see. And on the center conductor, yeah, how about that? Unsoldered in the center conductor. I guess it worked for a long time and then finally failed. That hasn't happened to me, but I could see it happening, especially if you're doing a bunch of coaxes at a time. You might get called away for a moment or something and just kind of forget the solder connection. You know, there's radios I hear guys have said over the years they've troubleshot their radios and found unsoldered connections in their radios from the factory. So it happens in the factory as well for the old style radios. Okay, let me send it over to Jay then. WB6MWL, WJ6W.
Okay, Jay, I'll turn it over to you,
You'll follow me, and George will follow Paul.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I got that right. Okay, very good, Dave. Yeah, you're 20 over out here, sounding good there with the Drake line and the Collins amp. Very good. Everybody is good copy here. And yeah, Jay, up there in Australia, it's hard to believe you're only running 44 watts, but the Alva's doing a good job. I don't know what they're supposed to put out. I don't remember. I remember the Alvas, but I don't remember what the power rating was. I thought they were a 100-watt radio, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Remember seeing the ads for those in QST and stuff. I think they were made in Escondido or somewhere down there. Anyway, let me keep it going here because we got a couple joiner inners, let's put it that way. And Kevin, I've done that too. I have forgotten to solder the center conductor, so don't feel bad. I've done that. Over to you, Paul, K2LM2, and then turn it to George, WB6MWL.
And K612, thank you, WB6MWL, and the group K2LMQ, Paul and Kingman. Good evening, all. I just got on here with the normal problems. I came in and, of course, nothing was working right. No modulation was coming out well. I'll tell you why. It's from the FT101DM that I'm using, and I forgot to add a power and a heater switch, so I just turned the power on. And, yeah, you know, you forget that you go from unit to unit, so, but I'm glad I'm on with it, and you guys are sounding good. Again, the FT9L1DM into the ST200, about 500 watts peak, and into the inverter C, at 75 feet. Oh, well, over here, last couple days have been outstandingly beautiful here, and it looks like we're in for a bit of a drought for a few days anyway, all of us, and then something's coming in off the ocean. What do you say, George? How are you tonight? W6YEC K2LMQ.
This way, D.
Oh, we hear you there, Skip. I'll turn it to you. Stand by, okay? W6YEC. Oh, you sounded good tonight. Nice signal here. Everybody's got a good signal. Well, I'm working on a project and scratching my head. Anyway, I'm going to get back to it, be listening a little bit. So, anyway, just thought I'd make my presence known. And let everybody know they're getting out nicely. And I guess Bill went to talk to his son, who doesn't call that often. There you go. All right. I don't have much more to offer here. We're on the ICOM 7300 right now, driving a Dentron for about 600 watts or so. So, back over to you there, Skip. G6LGL, W6YEC.
G6SYD.
Okay. Go ahead and give it to Skip. Skip to the last. K6LGL, good evening to all. Just sounding signals there from Jay there and the Inland Empire, also you, George, and also Paul. Yeah, you got the 901 and I got the 902. The 902 was the last of the series of the FD101's final completion. 901 was just appeared about a year before that. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, you leave off the filament switch, and of course, the receiver works fine, but no power output. That's happened to me once or twice also. Okay, I don't know who's next. Let's turn it over to, I think it goes to Steve. That's why he's the latest one. And it was my impression that the net started at 8 o'clock, but maybe I was wrong. Maybe it starts somewhere between 7:30 and 8, huh? KF6SYD, K6LGL.
All right, Skip, thanks for turning it over to me. KF6SYD. And I turned everything on, or I got up here when when Dave, hi Dave, was making his transmission. I heard Jay and WL and Paul and Kingman. And George, you've got your voice is superimposed on a hum. It's really kind of bad too. It's like, oh, when you talk. So I don't know, that rig's not supposed to have any problem like that. And I'm on the ICO 753, so you might let me know. I don't know, I heard Vaughn, it sounded kind of thin, so it might be that way with me as well. But maybe it sounds okay. And I don't know who it goes to, so I'm just going to throw it out. And whoever it goes to, pick it up. KF6SYD in Long Beach.
Yeah, KF6SYD is KW6G, Nick and Joe.
Good evening, Steve. You're 5 and 9 up here. Audio sounds okay. A little bit different than usual, but okay. Skip, you're 5-7 this evening. And George is 5-9, but yeah, George, there's a little bit of something's wrong with the audio on that transceiver. Not sure what's going on there. And Paul, K2LMQ, you're 5-9 plus here, and Jay was 5-9 plus as well. Anyone else who wants to check in just very quick? That's KW6G net control. Coming up, please. Not hearing anything. Let's move over to go to round 2. I think everybody who is going to check in has probably already checked in. We may get another segment for the next round. So good band this evening. Nice and quiet there. We got about an S1 or S2 noise level, so that's pretty good for us. We're running a Drake TR
4CWRIT with the RV4C remote VFO, Shure 444 microphone, barefoot to the end-fed half-wave, about 150 watts out the pipe. So we'll go over to, let's see, we'll start off with Kevin. And Kevin to Jay. And then Jay over to Phil if he's back. If he's not back, we'll go to Dave, WJ6W. And then Dave will go to the other Jay, WB6MWL in Montclair. And then Jay passed it over to Paul, K2LMQ in Kingman. And then Paul passed it up to George, W6YEC in Lemon Grove. And then George can pass it to Skip, K6LGL. And then Skip pass it over to Steve, KF6SYG. And then Steve, you can pass it back to me. And if there's anyone who wants to break in, go ahead and feel free to do so. And we'll pick you up as you go along. Go ahead, sir. Kevin, WA6JK into the group. AW6G, go ahead.
Yeah, your signals come up to 20 over S9 there, Charles.
And so same with Dave. Dave, your signal came up to 20 plus there. So the conditions, now that the sun's down, signals are doing really well. Of course, Phil, K2LMQ, you're just blasting in here. George, your signal was okay, except that I detected what sounded like, this is just a guess, it sounds like you have an unstable oscillator, because your voice was, sounded like it was, well, let's just say it was not, gosh, I'm trying to think of the words and I'm losing it. FMing, maybe? Yeah. Kind of like that, but anyway, I probably should have switched over to FM, see what it sounded like. Anyway, so there was something weird going on. Maybe it's atmospheric conditions or something. But I thought I'd at least share that with you, George. Welcome aboard, by the way. I just didn't want to call it hum because it wasn't hum. The hum wasn't modulating. It sounded more like you were modulating the hum. So maybe it's a power supply issue. I don't know. With the local oscillator. All right, let's see. Skip, your signal's way down. I hear you, Q5. But you're the weakest of the bunch here tonight, at my location anyway. Steve, welcome aboard. You have a super strong signal. But there was something funny going on with your audio, so maybe it just needs to warm up. So there you go. I'm operating the ICOM 737, which is an old radio, old ICOM. And I have a dual DSP unit called the JPS NIV, or the NR-12. It's the noise and the interference reducer is what they call it. It's got a bunch of knobs on it and whatnot. I got two of them. They were like $375 when they came out. About 24, 25 years ago, something like that. I got two of them. One for the different rigs I have here. So I fired that up to see if it would pick up Skip, and boy, there you were. He picked you right up out of the noise level there, Skip. Yeah, that dual DSP worked out really well. So you're up to par with everybody else when I have that on. All right, like I said before, the amplifier is the what's it called? The GSL 1900 Alpha amplifier. That's always been paired up with this rig, the 737. It's got many hours together. That's for sure. You know, it's kind of funny. You know, those tubes. When I bought the spare tube, it was like $700 and something, and I bought it because I figured I'd need a spare, right? Well, that was like, what, 25, 30 years ago. And never had to use it, so anyway. Yeah, Yeah, that was kind of, I probably should have used that money for something else. All right, let's see what else. Oh, I know. The backyard. Yeah, I've all been, most of you know that I've been working in the backyard for months. Lifting, doing a lot of heavy lifting and concrete work, pavers, rocks, and moving earth, and putting up, borders and all that stuff. Well, I finally got it to a point where I can hand it off to the contractor now. So we evaluated a bunch of contractors, did a down selection, and we got they call themselves the #1 and the oldest artificial grass contractor based out of San Jose, California. So we signed a contract with them, gave them some money. Diane wrote it out for the full amount, and they said, no, we can't take that. Well, what's wrong? It's because it's a check, but she can do it. She can pay it off with her ATM card if you want. No, we can't take it. And what do you mean? Well, apparently you can't pay off a project like that. You gotta. They got to finish the job. So what you do is you give them a down payment, and then you pay half when they start, and then the other half when they finish. I guess that's a smart way to do it. So anyway, that just creates more paperwork for us. That's all. All right. So that's about it. So we're kind of excited around here that we're going to have a big area with artificial turf, and it's going to look beautiful with the cobblestone walkway paths and all that stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. So that's the update there. Over to you, Jay. NY6L in the group, WA6JKN.
All right. Very good. Kevin. Just walked in. Just had a little bit dinner with the wife, and boy, I guess the timing was just right. So I kind of missed all the festivities here in between. But anyway, what's going on here? Well, things have been cooling off here up in the high desert, and it's supposed to get down to about 50 degrees, and as we get closer towards wintertime, I wouldn't be surprised if we'll go below freezing. And we've actually had snow this past year, so I went ahead and took pictures and video of all that. I had about several inches here in the past year. So anyway, all right. Well, I don't know if Phil is back yet, so let's try Phil. N6WHK, if you're there, Phil, pick it up. NY6L here in Hesperia.
I don't hear Phil. N6WHK, N6WHK, KW6B. You there, Phil? Not hearing anything. It's your turn, Dave. WJ6W, KW6B.
Okay, thanks, Charles. Very good. WJ6W returning here. Well, Jay, up in Hesperia, when you mentioned the Alta 103, I looked it up on the internet and I found the sales brochure for it. And right on the front cover, front page, it says 250 watts. I said, what? For that little thing? 250 watts. If I read that specs a little further, it's 250 watts input. So I guess it is a 100-watt transceiver, but I think they were putting some misleading information on the front cover of their sales brochure. What do you think? So anyway, that's kind of entertaining from those days. I guess they were trying to find an edge in the market. But anyway, it works great, Jay. Sounds good. And let's see, George, comment on your audio too. I heard the same thing, and I'll tell you what I think it is. If you're running remote with a computer, I know you were having trouble with the computer, and it sounded like a sample rate problem on the computer itself, maybe. I've had that problem on my computer when I do Zoom calls. Usually after a Windows
I didn't pay much attention to your audio, actually. Sounded, nothing alerted me, but I'll listen this time. And K2LMQ, Paul, hello. Sounding great. And, of course, everybody else. So I'll turn it over to Jay. WV6MWL, WJ6W.
Okay, Dave, WJ6W, WB6MWL, very good. Yeah, boy, I didn't realize that I remember looking at those ads, but I didn't remember the power rating. Wow, that seems awfully high. But some of those manufacturers kind of overrated the power, like the 350XL Atlas. I think it was, I had one, I never could get the power out of it that some people said they could get. So I don't know, I since sold it, but it was a nice radio, but yeah, the Aldas, I think they were made in Escondido, I think. Somebody that used to work for Swan started that. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what was told to me. Anyway, yeah, everybody's signal's good, and I'll keep it moving. And, Steve, yeah, your audio sounds a little bassy to me, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. It doesn't sound like you would on the Swan or the Drake. But maybe it's just a difference in the rig. I don't know. Over to you, Paul. K2LMQ, WB6MWL on the Drake group.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. WB6MWL on the Drake group. K2LMQ.
Wonderful. Copy is great. I'm copying everybody great tonight. A lot of static. There are no storms in the area, but there's a lot of atmospheric static. However, the signals are very strong tonight, and it's nice, comfortable, and enjoyable copy here. And sure good to hear everybody. Let's see, on the 753 ICO, that's fantastic. It sounds great, and very, very stable, and it's exciting to hear that. That's great. Hey, Kevin, on your sounds like your yard is coming along real good, and that's great. It sounds like you got a good, honest contractor there, which is a blessing and a rarity. Anyway, I had quite a shock when I was moving out here from upstate New York, and I wanted a fence put in around the property before I got out here, because I had a couple dogs with me. So I got a hold of a contractor out here. He said, yeah, I'll do it. And I said, great, if you don't mind, and I'm not there. This is what I need done. And I told him. And I said, so I'll put a check, give me an amount, I'll put a check in the mail to you. He said, oh no. You can send me half now, but after you get out here and you get yourself settled, I'll come out and you can pay me the rest, but you're not paying me until you get out here and get settled. I said, boy, I'm moving to the right place with the right contractor. That was a rarity back in New York. It would have been, I'll take the full amount now, and then I'll go away and I'll build it in 3 months for you or something. So that was that. Let's see. I think that's about it here. Just listening and enjoying everybody. So over to you, George. It was a great signal tonight, WS6YEC K2LMQ.
Okay, Robert, Paul, W6YEC. Give me a quick break. The audio sound better?
It's still got, like, your audio is riding on a hum. It may be what Dave was talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, some kind of division of your vowels there on the low side, George. K6LGL.
Oh, I don't know what that means. Anyway, I don't know what the deal is for me.
to shut the amplifier off. I don't know if that made any difference or not, but I'm on the microphone here rather than on the internet. So, anyway, shut the amp off help?
Yeah, it's good now.
Yeah, and that's the difference in signal, but I think it was the amplifier that was distorting there, George.
Oh, probably running a little too much power than the amp, maybe. I had the audio set way up. I had it set to USB. That's what I thought was maybe causing the problem. Because I'm not here in the shed. So I put it on microphone. I've been working on this thing, trying to get the remote back up and running. I switched out a computer, and my old computer was freezing up on me. And to get it all cleaned up and put more memory in it. So I was trying to get it stuff. Anyway, that's the story. All right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. I don't have too much more to offer. Congratulations on the ICO there, Steve. Sounded fine to me. I didn't tune around or try to listen critically, but looks like it worked. We're going to have fun with that, I think. Let's see. Give it, I think I'll give it to you, right, Steve? I had my notes covered up. So, no, it goes to Skip. K6LGL, this is my final for the evening, W6LGL.
Okay, George. Thank you. And the Joker of K6LGL, that sounds like you were overdriving the amplifier there a little bit, distortion. And then when you shut off the amplifier, and by the way, the difference in signal was not very significant. Maybe about 3-4 dB, so it could be there's something wrong there too. It's not in you should have about 6-7 dB of signal gain there if you got running any power. K6 little green light. Okay, well, I'm glad we got that straightened out. Good luck on that. And Steve on the 7, and by the way, Kevin, the 753 combination there in the amplifier sounds good, and Paul, you're sounding good in the 901. I appreciate it because I got a 902, so it was a revolutionary piece of equipment, and I like it. I don't know if yours has all the work bands, but the later models of the 901 had all the work bands, and of course any of the 902 DMs did, and plus a built-in tier and a built-in 12-volt power supply, so you could run a cartridge from 12 volts. So interesting piece of equipment. It's made around late 1980 there. In my case, in your case, maybe a year earlier. Some of them maybe as much as 6 months. Interesting. Okay, so congratulations on the ICO 753. Steve, sounding good. And everybody else doing that. And you're really strong tonight, Jay, from the Inland Empire, doing very, very well. And maybe you, Paul, just sounding in here. So, over to you there, and I guess we'll do one more and then do a final round after that. And your signal has come up considerably there, Charles. And by the way, let us know when you officially start to net, because it's 7:30. I'm understanding you're closer to 8, so that's why it shows up a little later. If it's 7:30, I'll try to be there like you do at QuakeNet. I mean, it's one at 7:30 on Saturday. Okay. K6X, wide easy. K6, how's you?
Right, Skip, it sure has been nice to just check this thing out with you guys. I knew I could get some feedback on how it sounded. I haven't read the book yet.
I don't know how you're supposed to tune it. I tuned it the way I always tune these older rigs. Well, that's all I have. And it seems to be okay. I'm going to do a quick microphone swap, so hold on. This is microphone number 1. This is microphone number 2. Microphone number 2 is, it may sound differently. You might like microphone number 2 or you might not like it. I'll go back to microphone number 1.
Turn off your compression, Steve, if you're running.
Microphone number 1. It may have a different sound, so if you guys want to tell me if one sounds better than the other, I would appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll make this my last transmission probably, but I'll be here and listen through, and appreciate you letting me try out the ICO on the DrakeNet. And George, you sounded so good without the amp. You don't need more power. It's just as loud, but just so nice and clear without the amp. And I know you will figure that problem out because you've always sounded great on the amp. And you'll figure that one out. Back over to Charles. KW6G, Charles, KF6SYD.
Yeah, I just want to ask Steve a question. Are you running compression, Steve?
No, there's nothing like that.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you just turn your mic gain down. That might clear it all up.
Well, I can turn it down to 9 o'clock. Yeah, I'd probably hit it a little hard, huh?
It sounds a little better now.
It sounds a lot better now, Steve. KW6G.
No, keep it at 9 o'clock. It was at 11 when Vaughn gave it to me, so I'll keep it here. Thanks.
Yeah, just audio characteristic, an individual voice probably.
Okay, KF7FYD, the group KW6G, we have control through the CD for the Drake West Coast net. I think we'll make this our 73 round, because getting around it late, and I've been here for almost 45 minutes here, and I got to get going this evening, so I'll pass along my 73s and thank everyone for their participation and continued interest and support. It's always appreciated. Yeah, we'll be back here again next week for another edition of the Drake West Coast net, and 73s, everybody, you guys have a safe week. We'll go in the same order. We'll start off with Kevin, and then go to Jay and Hesperia, and then over to Joe and LaMesa if he's there. If he's not, WJ6W can pick it up, and then pass it over to Jay, WB6MWL, and then Jay over to Paul, and then George is signed, and then QRT. So Paul, pass it over to Skip, A6LTL, and then Skip pass it over to Steve, and he can wrap it up. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys next week. So go ahead, Kevin. It's your turn. WA6JK into the group. This is KW6G. 73s, everybody.
Okay, Charles. Solid copy. Yeah, good signals tonight from everybody. And George, yeah, once you turn the amplifier off, your audio was out in the clear. So maybe what's happening is something going on with the ALC circuit, or just RF getting back into the rig somehow, into the oscillator or something. Who knows? All right. Good signals by everyone. And Steve, yeah, the 9 o'clock position sounds better, or I should say the 9 position probably go down to an 8 or something. But it sounds fine. Don't worry about it. And I'm really enjoying operating all this old equipment out here in the secondary shack. I now that I have that all that work in the backyard behind me, I'm going to be taking a break for a while. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that Swan out. The Swan 350. It's a good rig. It puts out about 400 or 500 watts. And get that up on the workbench and fix the dial light so I can see what I'm doing. What was his name? Bill. Bill told me what to do, and all I have to do is is remember what he told me, and I'll get that fixed up, and maybe let's see, Thursday. I could possibly have it fixed for a Saturday swan net. So, and I'll operate it from the secondary shack here. I'll just make a permanent home right here for it. So with that, the very best of 73 to everybody, Phil and both Jays and Dave down there. Good comment about the max headroom observation on the possibility of a computer.
Yeah, it's always
a fun thing to have happen. And
let's see, Skip, your signal came way up, so you're doing real good now. All right, I already talked about Phil. Phil, you're always strong up here. Take care, everybody. NY6L, Jay, your turn. 73 to you, and the very best to you and your families. WA6JK is clear.
Okay, very good, Kevin. And glad to have you out here. And always sounding really good there. And all right, well, I guess this is the last round here. So, yeah, on the Alda, I don't know if I mentioned it, but when I got it home, it does work, but I had to mechanically set the dial set adjustment, the RIT, total point position, and I had to touch up on the bias for the finals. They're supposed to be at 85 mils with no signal and resting current, and it was down to like 24 mils, so I touched that up and cleaned some switches and pots and wiped down the cabinet a little bit. And, well, nice little rig for what it is, and good old Americana. But, yeah, about 44 watts on peaks, on 80, 70 on 40 meters. I get somewhere about 65, 70-ish, and on 20, it's a little less. So I may have to go in there and get an extender board and just pick up the coils there for each band and see what that does. And we'll just leave it at that. But yeah, it was a little misleading about the power input and all that stuff. 200 watts with a pair of MRF 455s and push pull. Nah, that's not going to do it. It's not going to fly. So it puts out about roughly the same as my Atlas 315X for that same era or thereabouts. So anyway, let's see if Bill is there, and good night to everyone. N6WHK, Phil, if you're there, pick it up. If not, Dave, pick it up. NY6L, stay here in this area. Good night to everyone. Phil, are you there?
Yeah, I guess it's out there. I'll take it. Okay, I'm not definitely delivering anybody. Okay, Jay, thank you very much. Well, it's a lot of fun to play with this old stuff. The Alda 103 is doing its job, and yeah, I probably need some tweaking up in there to get it up towards 100 watts. And I think that's, yeah, I know the finals in my Atlas 210X, or an MRF something or other. I don't know if it's that model or what, but that radio, it puts out over 100 actually. I try not to run it over 100 watts. I don't think that's a healthy thing in the long run for the finals. But anyway, it'll do more than 100 on peaks. And let's see. And Steve, yeah, the ICO, it sounds very pinched, sharp. I think that's probably just the way it sounds. So it's probably working just fine. And it's very, very clear. To me, there wasn't much distortion. But it's better when you turn it down, and probably you can turn it down a bit more. But yeah, it really cuts through. And George, YEC, yeah, well, I don't have any other suggestions since my last one was all wrong. So sorry about that. But it did sound a little bit like some kind of mismatch digitally, but, well, you'll figure out what it is between the radio and the power amp. I know you've run it. It sounded great before with that setup, I'm sure. And so, anyway, it probably isn't anything too big. All right, well, I think we'll say 73 cents to everybody. Enjoyed hearing everyone's stories tonight. And we'll turn it over to Jay. WB6MWL, WJ6W.
Okay, Dave, WJ6W, WB6MWL, very good. 373s to Kevin and to Jay up there in Asperia, and you, Dave. And yeah, I'm sure if you go in there and do some tweaking, you'll get more power out of that. I know somebody back east that I know that has one. I think it does put out close to 100 watts, I believe. But I don't know about that input power either. But anyway, that's about all I had. Boy, it's really cooled off outside. I just had to close the window here. It was getting almost too cold in here. So temperatures are coming down. It feels like fall here. So I'll turn it over to you, Paul. And hope to hear everybody. And Kevin, I hope to hear that Swan on there Saturday night. I'll turn my 350 on. Maybe we can talk 350 to 350 there, whatever. K2LMQ, WB6MWL, 73.
Thank you, Jay. WB6MWL and the gang, K2LMQ. Beautiful copy tonight. I can hear the noise level down below, but brother, everybody's coming through and not missing a word. All is well. Great, and great on everything all the way around. Everybody sounding good, and George, you sound normal now. Everything's great. So, good to hear everybody. We'll see you guys Saturday night, and we'll catch you later. So have a good one, and nice to hear everybody. Now I'm supposed to turn it to George. I think he signed out. So if George isn't there, maybe Skip should pick it up. And to Skip and Charles, both of you, thanks for running the net tonight. So W6YEC if you're still there, and if not, over to Skip, K6LGL. This is Paul, K2LMQ 73s, and see you guys Saturday.
Probably. Thank you, Paul. K2LMQ. K6LGL there with the VHNet. Interesting comment. Yeah, that's amplified distortion sounded to me, and possibly overdriven a little bit. And when you reduce the mic gain, Steve, it sounds a little bit better, but there's a difference between mic 1, 2, and 3. It's hard to tell. You may have to play with it a little bit. And if you want to run some more tests, stick around to And Jay there in Hesperia, the T10 probably is, they rated it about 85, 86 watts. But of course, again, it depends. But RMS or peak power. In terms of odds, if they're talking about 250 watts, well, that's obviously input power, and the efficiency of that particular amplifier is not very high. It's 45-50%, so, 200 watts would give you about 100 watts out. And it depends. The heat sink on that setup on the 210 is a little marginal to be pushing any more than 100 watts. So it goes. Well.
you do what you can, what you got. And again, congratulations on the ICO. Glad to hear that. Your particular piece of equipment, Bo Jays, you sound good. And drop by Saturday, and we'll see if we can hear all the 350s. Ron will have his 350 also. So may set a record, 4 same type transmitters. So look forward to that, Kevin. This is 73 there. Listen to Steve, and hey, welcome aboard with another piece of equipment, Steve. KF6SYD, K6 little green light, saying good night and listening up.
I just think KF6SYD, and I turn the light gauge. It's almost all the way down the light gauge. Let's see what happens if I turn it all the way. Oh, it does turn it off. So there's about, 830? Because 730 is completely off. And about the microphones, I'm going to use this one. This is the one that I got with the radio. This is the one Vaughn gave me with the radio. So I'll stick with this one if no one really can tell you any difference it looks like. So I'll just leave it down here like this. At this audio setting, with this microphone. And I appreciate you guys helping me. Because what you do to go out on Tuesday night, because you won't get any feedback, it's a big list, and there's a topic, and you only get one shot, and it's just like there's no chance to really do what we did here tonight. So thanks, Dave, for all the help, and Jay, and Kevin, if you're out there, I'll have my 350 on Saturday, so we can have 350s on, and I've got it mounted on top of the ICO. It fits perfectly. It's slightly smaller than the ICO. Both the power supply and the transceiver are just slightly smaller in size than the ICO, so it looks nice with the Swan on top of the ICOs, and it lets me have everything here all at once. Again, good night to you, Paul, and Keeman. Good night to you. Thanks for the help, and good night to everyone else. Sorry we didn't get to hear Phil. KF6SYD, shining clear. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Steve, and it sounds okay. It sounds okay. You may try the other microphones if you like some other time and see what happens. If you want to put it on the Swan net, then, you don't have to do any Swan equipment. Good night, everybody. K6 little green light.
Well, here's the other microphone, but I doubt if it sounds much different. Do you think so, Skip?
It sounds somewhat the same to me. It's very similar. I like number one, though, Steve. I kind of like one, too. It seems to have a little more output, maybe.
You guys' signal just sank way down. I'll just go back to this is mine, and I'll put Vaughn's back on. I think I'll use Vaughn's with it. Thanks a lot.
Okay, good one.